If there are any questions from brothers and sisters, they're most welcome.
Brother, could you please share your experience in the recent Dawa tour that you had gone?
The sister posed a question that can I share some experience in the recent Dawa tour? I just came back yesterday from Oman. As far as my experience, yes, it was a different experience because I had been, alhamdulillah, before to all the Gulf countries, all the GCC countries except Oman. Not that I didn't get invitations, I had invitations before from Oman. But whenever we get an invitation from any part of the world, we check the pros and cons, whether it's going to be fruitful or not. And one of the reasons that I went to this trip was because one of the ex-staff member and a colleague and a volunteer, his name was Brother Sadiq, he saw to it, they requested me a lot. And the arrangement, alhamdulillah, we had an invitation from the royal court. And the thing is that in Oman, normally, there is a general concept that they don't encourage Islamic lectures in large gatherings. As a general rule, in Gulf countries, if you have Islamic lecture in large gathering, unless organized by conference by the government, is different. Otherwise, they don't encourage. And Oman is more strict in that. So that's what I was told, that a person comes, he comes slowly and gives a talk, and with a few hundred people, that's it. So this time, I had the invitation, alhamdulillah, from the royal court, not from the Islamic affairs, directly from the royal court, which is a higher power, alhamdulillah. And I went there, alhamdulillah, thinking that fine, I'm coming first time to Oman, maybe few people may be aware of it. But alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, the publicity was done very well, mashallah, in the newspapers, etc. And they had a talk in the largest lecture hall. It's an amphitheater, it's an open amphitheater, which had a capacity of 5,000. And alhamdulillah, that theater is normally meant for having dance shows and music, etc. Rarely do they have Islamic lectures, and if it's there, only a few hundred people gather there. That's what I was told. But alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah, from day one, I had gone there for actually 3 days. From day one, mashallah, the response was excellent. It was overfilled, mashallah. And there was a crowd of more than 5,000, about 6,000 people came for all the 3 lectures, alhamdulillah. I had the first and the third day in this amphitheater. And one thing that was good, mashallah, that more than 40% were ladies, alhamdulillah. About 45% of the audience, where when I entered the auditorium, I said, why did they block more than 40% of the seats for ladies? Well, normally, we have attendance of 25 to 1/3 ladies we have in Bombay, and outside we have 25%. That's my experience. In Bombay, we have 1/3 approximate ladies coming for our public talks, and outside 25%. So I said, why have they blocked 45% of the seats? And alhamdulillah, by the time the lecture started, we saw that both the sections were filled up, mashallah. And alhamdulillah, as a general policy, wherever we travel now, we see to it that we allow questions to non-Muslims. And same thing we did here. Those organizers, very reluctantly, they said that non-Muslim will not ask questions in Oman. As it is, Muslims asking questions is different. What will non-Muslim ask? But I put my foot down, and alhamdulillah, we saw to it that in the first day, only non-Muslims asked questions. Second and third day, we gave last 10 minutes for Muslims so that they don't feel offended. But the many non-Muslims asked questions, and mashallah, I was shocked to know that many non-Muslims have been seeing our programs, alhamdulillah. I mean, I never expected that non-Muslims in Oman would see our programs on the various satellite channels. And I thought that no one would be aware of Peace TV there. It's just a new channel launched. But I was shocked, mashallah. I met hundreds of people who said to me personally that they have been watching Peace TV, alhamdulillah. And as far as the questions being asked by the non-Muslims, they were very good. Many were new questions, some were challenging questions, alhamdulillah. And it was a very good response in terms of audience, in terms of coverage. In my position, I got about 20 newspapers, 10 Arabic and 10 English, which gave reports of all these 3 days. They said this is not the complete report. There are more reports which you could not gather. But so far, mashallah, 20 newspapers, 10 Arabic and 10 English papers gave the reporting. And Oman, as a general country, mashallah, the Arabs per se are hospitable, but the Omanis are a little bit more, mashallah. And the country, I'm told, was very beautiful. Time didn't permit me to see the countryside because I was only shuffling from the various venues. There was one major lecture each day. We were there for 4 days. I had to extend my trip for 1 more day. And in the morning, we had meetings, a small gathering, small meeting, meeting other people, important people, Dawah organizations. So I did not see much of Oman. But what a little bit I saw, mashallah, was beautiful. There was greenery. And the thing is that there is a great scope for Dawah. And mashallah, the last day, I extended my trip 1 more day because they said they wanted to organize a lecture only for the Hindus exclusively. So they requested them and they agreed. And it was a small gathering of 100 to 125 people on the last day. The first day we are in the amphitheater, third day amphitheater, and the second day we are in the Grand Mosque. And the fourth day we had in a private hall only for the non-Muslim. That also was a very good gathering. In the Grand Mosque, as I'm told, the mosque was very beautiful. It's the best that I've seen in my life. They tell me that it is the most beautiful mosque in the world, not comparing the Harmain, not counting the Sawab of Harmain, but in terms of architecture, etc. And it is very well known. It was really fantastic, mashallah. But at the same time, when I gave a private talk to the organization running the mosque, and I was shocked that one day when I went in the mosque early before my talk to a private gathering, I saw a few hundred non-Muslims, Europeans and Americans, coming for sightseeing. And the leader was asked to cover their complete, at least wear a full trouser and cover the head. That was the requirement. And there was a tour. And one thing what I noticed is that most of the guides, they were talking about the architecture, that the carpet is the biggest in the world, one piece biggest carpet, more than 4,000 meters, they told me. Biggest carpet, and the chandelier is the largest in the world and spent so much riyals, etc. The full mosque cost about 60 million Omani riyals. That's equal to 600 crores rupees. So that's all was fine. But no one spoke to them about dawah or Islam, how to take advantage. So in my talk to the organization, which is Islamic Center there, I told them that we require full-time people. There are only part-time people coming in the evening, but no one actually guiding these tourists. I said that the door is open for you. You will never find the opportunity anywhere else in the world. The most beautiful mosque in the world supposed to be, where hundreds of tourists coming every day. They're paying money to come there. So it is an opportunity. So there I gave a talk that how you can do dawah with the non-Muslim visitors come to the mosque, and that was a new talk of mine. And I explained to them, and inshallah, there's a good response from there. They want people from IRF to go and train them. They want training sessions, which we said is difficult now. They are willing to send their people to be trained here. And alhamdulillah, the response as far as from the government, from the people, overall was overwhelming, alhamdulillah. And one thing that I found there, that alhamdulillah, the scope for dawah is tremendous, because normally non-Muslims come to the Gulf countries to work, and there they have an opportunity to convey the message, where this opportunity is not banked upon. So now inshallah we hope that the process starts and people start doing more dawah and people are aware more about Islam. And there are many comments, mashallah, from the non-Muslims which are really very encouraging, alhamdulillah. And I hope inshallah Allah may give hidayah to a few of them inshallah very soon. Hope that answers the question in the